Now, one of the great things about the next Pharma Summit is that in a departure from the usual types of panel and keynote discussions, we also have what's known as Oxford-style debates, which are high stakes, competitive, purely hypothetical, but a lot of fun. And we get to involve the audience as well. So I'd like to introduce to the stage, first of all, Clare Smith and Adrian Dunstan. If you'd both like to take a seat, I'll take the middle if that's okay, Adrian. Okay. We want to keep you two apart. We don't want any too many feathers flying. So, how are you both? Good?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks.
Very good.
Ready to rock and roll?
Morning, Claire.
Way to hear. So how this starts up, we present a hypothetical situation. We then go to the room to take a baseline score on what you think the answer should be. Then we get involved in the debate. I ask the question. Panelist moderator 1 will answer. Moderator 2, then Moderator 1 will have the opportunity to retort if they wish. We are running a bit behind, so we're going to try and keep it tight. So, what we want to imagine is that we're in a hypothetical situation. There's a new CEO for a company. He's had a look at you've got this field model. You've got commercial field teams and medical field teams calling on the same customer. This person thinks that's absurd. He's convinced of the virtues of both, but decides, well, only one can be in charge. One has to lead the strategy. I'd like to ask the audience, could we get the Slido poll up please, guys? Please get your phones out, take a scan of that, and if you were that CEO, who would you choose to be in charge or to lead field strategy?
I do have to say I loved the
AI
images
image.
of us. I think it was very, very alike.
So, well,
Did you actually do that on purpose?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a little bit on there. And yeah, when I say the stakes are high, they are. The loser has to buy the drinks at the bar tonight and take some relief off the bar tab for me. Okay, wow. That's a pretty compelling answer from the crowd. It seems, Adrian, you've got everything to lose from this one.
Claire, I'm on your side. I'm going to help you out.
Is medical even here? Like 26%.
Okay, well, let's see if you can capitalise on this momentum, Adrian. So what we'll do, Claire's come the farthest to be here, so we're going to start with you. So when developing or executing a successful field strategy, there's a critical balance that we seek as an industry between the scientific expertise focused on the product data and the awareness and the education, and of course the market access and the sales execution on the commercial side. Claire, summarise for us, the audience, the core responsibilities for field teams in medical and why those responsibilities make your function best placed to lead field strategy. You have 2 minutes.
I'll try and be quick. So first of all, when I think about, and in the earlier sessions, what we're all here to trying to achieve is that patients get better access to treatment. So ensuring the right patient gets the right drug at the right time. And if I think of a really good field strategy that starts with science, is guided by insights, and then is really built on trust. And that's what medical do. They do that day in, day out. So they do that, first of all, through scientific exchange. They enable those really peer-to-peer dialogues across the healthcare continuum, allowing us to really understand, allowing our stakeholders to understand the data and to really have discussions in terms of the evidence, which ultimately leads to better patient outcomes. Secondly, if I quickly go in insights, so our insights are really critical and medical are there from day one. So through those trusted relationships, they allow us to really look at insights in terms of that and to really not only inform but really guide and adapt our strategy as we move forward. And then finally, partnerships. We build partnerships across the continuum, and so that's why medical affairs should lead, and through those partnerships we understand what actually truly matters to our healthcare professionals.
Insights, trust and partnerships. Adrian, interested to hear your response.
Yeah, look, I think I agree with everything you said, Claire, and I'm sure that everyone in the audience here would agree with all of that. And, you know, let me start off also by saying that I'm sure we all agree that it should be a collaborative
should be, but
that
for
goes
the
without
purposes
saying.
of this,
But that would not be entertaining.
No, it wouldn't.
So let's get back into character, and I'll play Mr. Dr. Evil. So agree with your points, Claire. I'll make 3 points quickly. The first one is that on the commercial side, we have to kind of zoom out and take a look at the picture from start to finish. The brand life cycle from start to finish. That could be a 10-year, life cycle. The average is about 10. Could could indeed be more, could be less, right? And an integral part of that, of course, is KOL management, scientific exchange, building of trust. I might also add that the commercial team do build trust as well. We're not the dark lords and evil masters we're certainly not anti-trust. So we're big on trust as well. Point number 2 is that things have changed in the last, 10 to 15 years. Let's just say back in the olden days, like when I was a GP representative back in '96, it was what we'd call the relationship with customers was what you would call a direct selling type of relationship. Selling, you've got a problem, I've got a solution fits your problem, do you want to prescribe my product or not, right? Those days are long gone. These days, the interaction or the engagement strategy is more like what we would call insight selling, right? That type of model where it's not just one decision maker, like in the old days with the GP, or with a single oncologist, or with a single hematologist. It's the DMU, or the decision-making unit. And there could be 6, 5, 25 people in that DMU in each site. One of the key roles and skills of the commercial team is to embed themselves in and around all of those key members of the DMU and connect all the dots, right? And that includes the payers. It could include infusion nurses, nurse unit managers, oncologists, hemes, the list goes on and on and on, right? And point number 3, really quickly, is that in order for the commercial team to fulfill that role and to do it correctly, and profile all of those individuals within the DMU and the DMUs themselves, takes a lot of skill and time and energy. Not that medical couldn't do that, but they would require significantly more resources. In fact, they would have to have the same resources as the commercial team. Not a good look for the P&L.
Point. You've got we're running short on time, so you've got 30 seconds
I'll
instead
do
of a
a very
minute.
quick rebuttal. I totally agree with what Adrian said in terms of the commercial team bring a lot of breadth and reach, which obviously medical can't do. But I think sometimes we're really good. We have this knack within industry that we often think we assume what our stakeholders want, and actually data recently, especially within Australia, shows that our stakeholders far more, 67% of them far more value our medical stakeholder interactions than that of our sales. Not meaning that medical should take all of those interactions, but perhaps medical should lead and commercial should take the direction from medical, and in a complementary aspect.
Fair call.
Pulling out the percentages. It's getting serious now. We're moving on. So silos. Big problem between medical affairs and commercial when it comes to barriers that prevent a seamless customer-centric model. I think everybody agrees it's not done perfectly. So which function is best placed to bridge the gap between functions and ensure a more seamless collaboration in the field?
Shall I go first?
Please.
Okay, so following on from my first couple of bullet points there, and with commercial having a more helicopter or holistic view of the whole process and the whole landscape, I would default to commercial, plus it's my job here right now to do that. But in addition to that, I would say I actually don't care which one it would be. Just like I really don't care who leads a brand team. It could be medical, it could be reg, right? It just historically default happens to be commercial. But I just want to make one point, and that is I see that breaking down of the silos as higher up. So let's have the leaders in those two functions and all the other functions model leadership behaviour and bridge those gaps so that people just follow the lead.
Excellent point. Claire?
Yeah, Adrian makes fantastic points.
Thank you very much.
You're doing a job for her, Adrian.
We're done.
You didn't get the memo.
But I think what often breaks silos, as you said, it's not just about one function, etc., but having shared priorities and shared goals, and actually what we're there for. And medical can easily do that because we have we bring everyone around that same goal of improving, obviously, patient outcomes and the data. And we do that, as I said, keep repeating, but we do that from day one. We bring those insights in, which allow us to help inform and shape strategy, and we can do that across the continuum of our internal stakeholders, not only through commercial, but also through clinical, through regulatory, through patient engagement, which again should be embedded within that. It shouldn't just be medical and commercial. So yeah, we bring those in, and medical often don't have the agenda of just selling and increasing market share, which they're there obviously to again, bring everyone around that one goal of ensuring that insights are transferred that can help us improve our overall strategy. And we do that, through data, not agendas of sales.
Was that a cheap shot?
Cheap shot. It felt like a
good one, though.
full-on Mike Tyson uppercut.
And can I just retort really quickly by saying happy to be led? Happy to be led.
I'm very much, you told me to be controversial.
Absolutely. It's, bring on the heat. So we're into the final round. There lots of discussion lately about metrics. And in particular, medical affairs seems to be grappling a little bit with impact and moving away from vanity metrics. So beyond the sales figures, what key metrics should be used to measure the success of field strategy for commercial and medical affairs? And how can the lead department ensure that data is collected and analysed to demonstrate the effectiveness of that approach? Claire.
This is a really great topic, and one that I think is a really hot topic at the moment. And I think that first of all, regardless of the function, we need to be more transparent with our data, because that data and whatever metrics that we're looking at, we need to transfer them and be really open and honest about them, so that we can help ensure that our impact is actually making an impact and use that to change our strategy going forward. So if I think about that, it's not just about activity, but actually are we shifting the needle or shifting the dial, essentially. So looking at things that, are we actually making a better customer experience, and by that looking at our external stakeholders, not only our healthcare professionals but also our patients, and doing that also, are we looking at, have we shifted the dial in terms of the overall sentiment around surrounding disease state or surrounding data? Are we looking also in terms of, have we bridged gaps in terms of evidence, or also including in terms of guidelines, like have our interactions actually impacted the inclusion in terms of guidelines and formularies, etc. as well. So I think it's, really looking overall at impact. Are we actually shifting the needle, not just activity? And just being really transparent about, obviously, that data, and ensuring that we're actually using that data to then look at our next steps and our forward-looking visions.
Thank you, Claire. We'll refer over to Adrian.
Thank you. Very good points. Very good points. Just to be a bit more specific, following on from your points, Claire, in terms of establishing baselines and then having frequent measurements, we can do things, or should be doing things like ATUs to have an ongoing measure of relative awareness, trial usage and usage, DFUs or detailed follow-ups, to see how well our communications are sticking or not, and then brand trackers, or you can call them whatever you want. The key is to make them the same and periodical, so that you can measure against the baseline and measure change. So there's some kind of fundamental stuff, but not really that fancy. But I'll just make one last point, and that is, how about we assign or attach KPIs to our tactics, which are attached to our strategies, which everyone agrees with in the integrated brand plans, and we just stick to that. And make them monthly, quarterly, whatever, and tick them off as you go along, rather than inventing, fancy, different KPIs and metrics. Let's just get the job done.
People trying to be too clever. Did you want one quick retort to that before we?
I think just to say, to ending the debate, are we
This will be the last one, then we'll go to the audience.
So I think in terms of ending the debate, this is the time for medical to really lead. If we look at going beyond 2030, if we want to have next level patient impact, this is the time for medical to really be bold and be proactive in terms of leading. We don't need to sit back and be worried about what our value is. We know what our value is, and we need to ensure that commercial, we're working with obviously our commercial counterparts, and if we want to have that next level patient impact, medical is able to be in the driver's seat here, and that's why we should lead field strategy with commercial complementing medical.
Strong finish. Okay, you've heard the arguments from both sides. We're now going to get the Slido poll up again and ask you to once again vote. If your opinion has been swayed one way or the other, we'll see that on the score now. So it started off 73 27. Can we reset that Slido poll, please, guys, and relaunch it? And the winner won't be the one with the highest score. It'll be whoever has moved the dial a little bit. So, for instance, if you go down to 70, technically you win. Okay. But we'll wait and see. We need to get the Slido up in a moment.
By the way, I think by 2030, what you said will be the case. Yeah.
How are we going?
That'll be when I'll be retiring.
That's why medical is a strategic pillar. They're one of the strategic pillars.
If perhaps we just we'll do. It was a pretty even 3/4 split. What we might do, in the interest of time, is just get a show of hands. Who here believes that medical should lead field strategy in the pharmaceutical industry? Is that more than a quarter? Oh, hang on, here we go, we're up. Quick.
Oh!
Here we go. Let's see where it ends up. Phones out, please, everybody. Don't be shy, this is really important, high-stakes stuff. Somebody goes home, the champion, someone with the tail between their legs. Don't not have your voice heard.
I'm literally on the edge of my seat.
This is
Literally.
This is like quite nail-biting.
Yep. All medical's made a lot of ground.
You've done well, Claire.
Are you...
Do you want to call it?
I think on this
call
occasion...
it. Call it.
Don't tell me you go. Oh, hang on. Now,
call it.
Now, I think we have to call it here. I think commercial's going to win, but medical has won the debate and turned most of the people in the room. So congratulations.